Well, holding up for the market, just around that 22,400 mark. Let's talk about Rajratan Global Wires then. The company reported their numbers yesterday. Revenue growth was close to around 9%. Margins compressed by about 100 basis points, and as a result of which the net profit was absolutely flat. We do have with us the Chairman and Managing Director, Sunil Chordia, joining in. Thanks a lot, Mr. Chordia, for joining in. You know, earlier you had guided for 20% volume growth in FY24. You've fallen short of that. 16% is what you've done. And
yes,
that weakness is largely led by the Indian volumes. Thailand, you promised 40,000. You've gone ahead and done 43,000 tons for this entire year.
Yeah.
What explains this weakness in India? And what's your target for this year?
We were short of target because of influx of import. In Q3 and Q4, some imports came in, which ate away our market share. And that is why we were short of this target of 20% in India as well.
So, okay. All right. So, Mr. Chordia, hi, good morning. And it's been a while since we spoke last. But let's, there have been some problems in terms of imports, as you're mentioning. Now, on this sort of a base, you've done 103,000 units for the past year. On that base, what is the growth that you can see, the volume growth, point number one? And break up the volume growth for us as well. India was around 61,000, Thailand was around 42,000. What kind of a growth are you estimating in both these two geographies?
Yeah, Nigel, we are starting production of our Chennai facility very soon. And as committed with the PLI, with the Steel Ministry, we will be making minimum 14,000 tons from our Chennai factory. So the Indian growth will come only from the additional production of Chennai factory. I don't project any growth in our Pithampur factory this year. And for Thailand, we are targeting 50,000 tons of production and sales this year. If you look at Q4 of Thailand, we have done close to 13,500 tons. And 50,000 is not difficult for Thailand this year. Yes.
Just putting those numbers together, 14,000 and 8,000 extra. So together around 22,000 tons is what? So for the end of this year, you should be around 1.25 lakh tons, correct?
That is our target, yes.
All right, 1.25 lakh tons. What about margins then? Because, back in the day, your India margins were close to 20%, Thailand margins were around 15%. Now, the Thailand margins went down to about 11.5%, with India margins going down to about 18% as well. With imports coming in, competition, and in Thailand, you looking at market share rather than just prices, what is a margin band that one should be working with for both India and Thailand?
Yeah, margin also depends on the competition in the market. And lately, we have seen that global market is very competitive. And we are facing the margin problem in Thailand. But our board and we decided to, work on volumes rather than targeting margins. That is what we did. Yeah.
So what margins are we looking at? Because this year, it's around 14.4% in the fourth quarter. What are we looking at?
I don't see any possibility of growth in margin in India for the current year. But definitely, we will improve 2-3 points in Thailand this year.
So do you see the possibility of overall margins reducing to say 12 to 13% in FY25? Is that a fair estimate with 125,000 tons volumes? Can margins be between 12 to 13% or can they be lower than that as well?
No, I'll talk separately. For Thailand, the margin can be up to 12% EBITDA and India will remain same 18%, close to 18%. So on consolidated basis, 15 to 16% margin is possible.
Okay, all right. And could you tell us what are the PLI benefits are? 14,000 units, what is it? If you could put a number, as a percentage of sales, you'll be getting some money, right?
It is 8% of sales value.
Okay, so 8% on that 14,000 tons that you're going to be selling.
Correct.
Okay, got it. How's your debt in books? How's your balance sheet looking? Your interest cost for the past year, I think, was around 20 crores. What is it?
So, as committed or as indicated in the earlier conversation, we have been able to manage debt below 200 crores. So the net debt on the receipt as on 31st is 190 crores. Okay, though we have invested up to now 230 crores in Chennai, we have only completed expansion in Thailand last year. And as promised, we have, and we continue to control the debt below 200. Yeah.
That's good to know, so that you will continue to control the debt below 200. Last spoke was close to around 220 crores. Just wanted a couple of numbers on Europe and Korea. I remember you were looking at getting some clients in Korea. How much does that account for in your overall sales right now? Have you won some clients out there? And Europe as well, 5 to 7% of your sales, you wanted it to increase. Where does that go?
So Korea, yes, there is a delay in the Korean customers. We have got the approval, trial quantities have gone, but we didn't get the regular business last year. We are expecting regular business this year from Korea. We have got two regular clients, two regular customers in Europe. For last 1 year, we have been supplying, and this year also will supply. We also got two major, approvals, not approvals, in principle agreement with two global customers for approval this year. So this will keep on growing. The export and the international marketing or exports will keep on growing, both for Thailand as well as for Chennai.
Okay. Okay, all right. Just one more question, Mr. Chordia. You have bulk of the market share here in India, right? What is the current number that we're looking at since imports were coming in?
Total consumption is around 150,000 tons in India for wheat wire.
Okay. Yeah. And your market share is how much?
Our market share was, last quarter was around 37%.
37%. Okay. The reason I ask you this is because the Tatas are in there, and, there is some kind of reports that suggest that maybe, in fact, a big name like the Tatas could be looking at the business that you're in. Have you heard anything on that front, or?
We are already into this business, and they have also expanded capacity, and we are competing with each other.
So do you want to break? I'm aware that they are already in the business, but they didn't. They were not showing any aggression in this business, and that's why the street was very excited, because they said that you will get that premium multiple maybe at some point of time because the kind of stronghold you have on the market. So break up the market for us. You're at 37%, and the other players are at how much? How much is imports? How much do the second best player have?
Yeah, so import, which had gone up in 2 quarters, has again come down to 10% of the total requirement. The should be around 30% of the market share. We are at 37-38% market share, and another player, Aarti Steel, is again 15%. So
okay, and the Tatas, they have already announced this any kind of capacity expansion, because they are second best, as you said.
Last year they have expanded. They were at 30,000 tons, and now they are 60.
Okay, but you're not worried about competition?
No, we are in a competitive business, and we have to continue doing excellent business. We have to continue improving our quality cost.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, that's the way to go. Just one question for the books. Mr. Chordia, this year you did about 103,000 tons of volumes, and revenues were close to 890 crores. What's your view on realizations going forward? If you're targeting 125,000 tons in volumes next year, using the current realizations itself, your revenues would not be much beyond 1,050 to 1,080 crores. Do you expect realizations to improve?
Revenue is factor of steel prices.
Yes.
If you track the steel prices in last 1.5 years have come down by almost 30%. Okay, so accordingly, the bead wire prices also came down. So, and there is a total, revision of prices by around 25-30%. So if steel prices go up, the revenue, the top line will be more. Otherwise, at the current level, you are right, it will be around 1,100 crores of top line for the next year.
Okay. All right, Mr. Chordia, always good speaking to you, sir. Past few quarters have been a little bit rough, but you're saying that FY25 will be much better. So that's why you're looking at 125,000 tons with margins in the mid-teens. We'll track you on these numbers, and we appreciate you joining in and giving us all of those details. Wishing you all the best.